Hey everybody, it's your daily report with Angry Tim. A couple of things I wanted to talk about today. This is possibly relating to some of the store closures, 7-Eleven that we talked about in a previous video. We're talking about how beer sales in the US have dropped to a 25-year low with demand decreasing sharply. When we talked about 7-Eleven, it's a convenience store, and obviously they sell a lot of alcohol. Now, with alcohol sales going down, they didn't mention it in the previous article, but that could be another reason why they're closing a lot of these older locations. Cigarette sales were down, um, beer sales are down, and they also cited that Gen X millennials aren't drinking as much alcohol as the previous generation. They're non-alcoholic beer, ciders, um, like these like wine coolers, I guess you'd call them. So they're not really drinking beer, and they also said CBD sales. So maybe they're doing other things other than buying beer. So that could be accounting for a lot of the convenience store closures if people are not buying as much alcohol, buying not as much cigarettes anymore. They're maybe these newer neighborhoods, maybe they're redesigning the store because a lot of the stores were built around, you know, how you walk in the front door, all the drinks are all the way in the back. Same with grocery stores. So the whole layout of the store was kind of meant for people to come in, grab, you know, a 6 pack, 12 pack of beer in the very back of the store. And on the way there or back, they have all the chips, the beef jerky, all the snacks lined up. So you just grab a bunch of candy bars and chips on the way to the counter, and that's how they made their sales. But if people aren't buying beer, when they walk in the store, you know, maybe they'll just grab that candy bar or they just, you know, pay for their gas and leave. They're not going to the back of the store, which means they're also not walking through all the aisles with all the chips and cookies and other impulse items that the stores were making money on. And maybe the older stores, the older 7-Elevens had a certain layout that it would cost much too money to just remodel and change the whole layout of the store, to maybe move products around a little better where it's not, you know, based on people going to the back of the store and buying beer. And they said, hey, you know, we're not going to remodel the old store to account for the change in beer sales. We'll just close them down. And when they build these new stores, I have to go and check and see if that's the case. But maybe the new stores, it's not built that way. Maybe I don't know what people are buying. They're saying they're a lot healthier now, so maybe they're healthier options. Maybe the you know, pre-packed sandwiches and foods. Maybe a lot of people are just grabbing a fast bite to eat, and maybe they're putting a whole section in the back now where it's food. Maybe a little better quality food, um, and they have to redo the whole layout and everything, and they're just changing the way people are shopping in these stores. So I thought that was interesting. But it's not only in the U.S. It looks like the whole global sales um, is down. They they describe the sales being so bad that it's a 5 alarm fire, and it's reached critical levels. So that could be tied into what we talked about before about the beer sales. They're saying beer shipments have dropped in 2023 by 5% in the first 9 months. Um, and it's been in a steady decline, reaching their lowest level in 24 years. So I don't know. Is that? Do you have any new convenience stores opening up in your neighborhood? And be interesting to hear if they've moved the beer to a different part of the store. Because what they put in the back of the store is the most popular item, what people come in the store to get, and it used to be beer, I guess. So that would be at the far end of the store, and you'd have to walk through, you know, the aisles of all the other junk, overpriced stuff, where they make the bulk of their sales. Same with the grocery store. You know, people run in the store to grab milk or alcohol or go to the deli section, and they always put those areas at the very far end of the store. So in order to go grab milk and orange juice and some bacon or whatever, you got to walk through all the aisles where they put all their, you know, everything else that you didn't really plan on buying. you have to walk past all that, and they have all the sales and all the deals there, and you end up, you went to the store to buy just a gallon of milk, and you walk out with maybe 5 or 6 different items which you weren't planning to buy, and those are probably they're the stuff that's marked up, the most profitable items for them. They always advertise, you know, milk, it's going to be super cheap, whatever, 2.99 a gallon on sale, but you pass the bread, the cookies, crackers, cheese, other things, and those items are not on sale, and that's where they make their money. Um, it's possible that some of the items in the back, like the beer, milk, other things they advertise in their Sunday paper, are loss leaders. So they're willing to take a loss, 50 cents, a dollar uh, per item on those items, but everything else, you can be sure they mark them up. So, you could probably find it cheaper at a local Walmart or something, but if you go to Albertsons, Kroger, Safeway, depending where you live, the bag of Oreos might be $5.99, and that's their regular price. But at Walmart or some other discounter, it might be $4.99. So they got a good markup on there, and they're hoping you'll just throw a bunch of random things in your basket on the way to the back of the store to get your beer or milk. So that was kind of interesting. When I read that, I thought maybe that had something to do also with a lot of the store closing. But I don't think that's the only reason. I'm sure a lot of people just don't have the money. They're maybe not drinking as much, or they're finding maybe a cheaper brand to buy instead of the more premium craft beers. Maybe they're buying the cheaper one to save a little bit of money. But overall, looks like, I mean, sales are down everywhere. It's just not beer, but alcohol sales. Also, we talked about like the TGI Fridays. Some of these restaurants, they were heavily based around that whole drinking crowd. After work, you'll go there and drink with your coworkers, or a lot of the college, university kids will go there. Fridays, Saturdays after a hard week of school, and then they go and celebrate. But again, if beer sales, alcohol sales are down, they're not going to these places. And that also means they can't sell you all the nachos and buffalo wings and all the other appetizers and hamburgers that go with going out to these restaurants and drinking. So that no one really mentioned that in the other articles, but it's possible that we're at a 24-year low. And typically, when the economy is bad, alcohol sales usually go up. So that's really weird. Since we've been in, not official, but in this slowdown or recession, that beer sales have been going down. So does that mean it's so bad that people, can't even buy beer now? Because usually that they'd cut everything else and they buy beer when times are bad, because it's depressing. Um, People aren't going to bars. People aren't even, going to convenience stores now to buy their alcohol. Maybe they're just cutting back, which isn't a bad thing. If they're cutting down, maybe they're doing something healthier, whatever that is. Maybe they're exercising more. Maybe they're doing other things to keep their mind off the economy, to save money, other activities than just meeting friends at a sports bar or somewhere and grabbing lunch at like TGI Fridays with a big plate of nachos or something. Which leads me into the next video I'm going to be doing. It's something that RFK Jr. said about he wants to just reform the whole health, the FDA, the CDC, the whole health of America. He has a movement called MAHA, M-A-H-A, which is Make America Healthy Again. To the kids' school lunches, the different things they put into candy and snacks, the artificial colorings, red, was it number 40 and blue and yellow, all of these things, a lot of them are banned in other countries because it causes cancer or disease, but yet in the US, the FDA still allows companies to put these things in our food. So I'm going to go into that next, but just kind of a quick update on this beer article, which kind of ties into what we talked about the other day. So I'll see you in a bit. That was your daily update with your friend, Angry Tim.